welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So someone is not struggling with their mind right now. Their mind is calm, they're able to rest, they're able to think clearly. They're not suffering from some kind of disturbance mentally that could escalate into a mental health issue. Or if they had some kind of issue with that, they may actually be sort of recovery or reduction in issues. So this person's not overthinking, not catastrophizing, not obsessing. Ten of Pentacles. There could possibly be this person's feeling calm and cool and collected over the Ten of Pentacles. Or this could be someone whose choice to deal with their emotions or deal with their mind, deal with their thoughts, learn how to balance their thoughts better, learn how not to get sucked into fear, not to sort of stay up late and make a mountain of a molehill sort of thing like that, is going to make it easier for them to manifest or become involved in a situation where they can have the Ten of Pentacles, where they can have intergenerational wealth, a community of very well-off individuals, people who can finance their own dreams and who can help assist other people by supporting them and maybe even helping them financially in some sort of situations. So things will be good for this individual. We have a Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It may not be that this financial stability is something that this individual is able to or is allowed to. It depends on who they are and it depends on what it is. They may not be able to, or they may not be allowed to sort of use that money in that way where they're able to sort of relax and enjoy the money that they already have. It could be that their money is not theirs alone. It could be that they're part of some kind of network or family or group of individuals that has access to financial stability. And they may take part in it under certain circumstances, but they may not be able to access it in that way where they can sort of use it like it's a retirement fund, because it may not be that for them. It may be something where they can have a little bit of assistance or some help or some leeway in some sort of way, but they may not be able to say, they may have to work a lot, they may have to stay really engaged with this Ten of Pentacles community. They may not be able to sort of take the time to enjoy it because they're still earning it or they're still working for it. We have the Knight of Cups. This individual is passionate, though, even though they may not be able to use that financial stability to, like, bring themselves comfort as much as they would like to, or give themselves a little bit more leeway financially, like, in a way where they're able to spend, not just, they're going to spend frivolously. They're still passionate about the situation, and they still enjoy it, and they're still involved, and they still want to be involved. And it could kind of create a situation where they have to display that. Like, they have to display that. They have to display it. Like, they need to show their passion about it. They need to show their gratitude for it. They need to. This could even be situations where, because they're part of a network of individuals, they need to show their involvement. They need to go certain places and with certain people and do certain things and be certain ways and sort of demonstrate their involvement and demonstrate demonstrate that in some way, shape, or form. There could be a requirement for this Ten of Pentacles that they may not be able to sort of have that Nine of Pentacles because they're still needing to sort of prove or perform in a way where they're showing that they deserve it, or they're showing that they appreciate it. It could be that their family or their community does a lot of connecting and networking. So this could be sort of them networking, or them sort of putting themselves out there to network and showing that, like, the best parts of themselves in that way. The sun, I think this person likes that. I think this person enjoys that networking thing, and I think they enjoy that. I think it makes them feel good, and I think that it probably would mean more to them to have that actual community of individuals that they can rely on, or that they can speak to, or that they can talk to, or that they can collaborate with, than it would just be to have that Nine of Pentacles to themselves. Because if this, especially if this individual enjoys being social, or if they were brought up, or if they were brought into a community where being social and being involved and doing charity work or doing some sort of fundraising situation for things is part of their Ten of Pentacles, they would probably very much enjoy the opportunity to demonstrate their involvement and to demonstrate their capacity to be compassionate and to demonstrate who they are and who they are to other people, and who they are in involvement with the Ten of Pentacles, and sort of bolster themselves and bolster the Ten of Pentacles to make it worth more, which would create a sun situation, which would create them feeling like really good about themselves and really good on the inside, because they're able to not just sort of sit on a beach and enjoy their money and enjoy that, because eventually I think for some people, they may sort of find that a bit boring, or they may sort of find that a bit tedious, where they're just having access to money, but they're not necessarily having access to other people. In this certain circumstance, maybe have access to financial stability, and they may have access to others with financial stability. And they also may be able, like I said, to demonstrate how they're working for the situation, how they're like doing with their fundraising, or they're doing their charity work, or they're doing they're doing certain things that are giving back to the community and are creating more of a connection. So then that, I think, matters more. I think that means so much more to this individual than the actual Nine of Pentacles itself. With the King of Swords in reverse, there's something about struggling with speaking, or struggling with communicating, or struggling with thoughts. Like, the thoughts can be sort of strange, or sort of a bit odd, and this person may have an issue with fairness, or they may have a kind of a this could even be someone who is manipulative. I don't know who this is, but there could be this, either someone struggles with communication, or someone struggles with that sort of thing, or they could even be someone who struggles with the truth. It could be someone who struggles to tell the truth, someone who isn't really fair, could be sort of corrupt. It could be kind of like either this individual has a malicious tint to them, or this could be how this person's could possibly struggle in social situations, and maybe struggle with the idea of fairness, where they don't quite understand. It could be either, like, I don't know if it's malicious, or if it's just kind of like a naivete. I'm not really sure. Their Hermit. I think this is probably someone who may, when they're without wider community to bolster them into positions where they can sort of maybe even be forced into the Knight of Cups in order to have access to the Ten of Pentacles, they have to go and they have to show themselves socially. If they were without that, they may be very withdrawn, and they may be very socially inept, or they may feel socially inept. They could be someone who might always sort of say the wrong thing, or always sort of feel awkward. People could like laugh at the things they say without them wanting to, because they may sort of just not know how to speak to people. And then with the Hermit, they may prefer to be alone. They may prefer, if they could have everything they wanted the way they wanted it, they may prefer to take their share of the money and just go away and disappear from people. They may prefer that. I think this is what this person would do if there wasn't a community of other people that were making it that they couldn't access the funds that they require unless they were doing certain things, unless they were doing certain charity work or some certain community stuff. They would just go off on their own and sort of be a happy little hermit with their money. with the High Priestess, there's some sort of understanding of that. I feel like people sort of know that about this person. Probably their community, if this is a family, is probably aware of that without even saying anything. They probably just know this person's like that. That they sort of have to make accessing the funds impossible unless they act a certain way. And then they have to act a certain way to get access to the funds that they require to live the lifestyle that they become accustomed to or that they want to live. And that means they can't just disappear and hide. And the family or the community probably already knows too that when they put this person in a position where they have to do the Knight of Cups thing, where they have to get out of their comfort zone and they have to hobnob and they have to community, they have to collaborate and they have to be a part of the sort of ongoings of the larger network, they do actually feel better. Like they do actually like it, and they do actually feel it's good for them, and it's good for everybody. They probably know that without even saying anything. They probably don't even have to ask the person. They probably just know that about them. And that they have to have certain measures in place to sort of make it difficult for this individual to sort of disappear, especially if they're part of, like I said, a wealthy family or a well-known prestigious community or a well-known prestigious family. They can't just have that person taking their money and disappearing. Wouldn't be good for them. It wouldn't be good for this person. And if their goal is to continue to build their net worth, it wouldn't be good for their net worth either, because the money that person takes they most likely wouldn't be making more money with it. They most likely would be spending it without it being sort of invested in some intelligent way. So there seems to be like a safety network or a safety valve for this individual to avoid sort of doing themselves damage. And the Ace of Wands. There's a High Priestess Ace of Wands. I'm thinking this knowing, and then there's an action or an inspiration. Someone could sort of know that. This could be someone who's closer to this person, someone who's maybe like a more immediate family member, or someone who's worked more closely with this individual or knows them a little more, understanding their understanding. They could like have seen things like that before, especially if it's a family. This could be like a genetic thing. This could be someone's mother or someone's parent who's looking at them and going, yeah, that's a family trait. We have to do something here to prevent something happening. We did this before with this person and this did this. So let's just do that then. It could be something that is sort of unspoken but known to the individuals in the family or individuals in the community that are sort of more in a position of authority or power. And the Ace of Wands is an action that they're taking action. So it's like these individuals are aware of this and they're taking action to do something about this situation. It's inspired action too. It's not just like reactionary action. It's inspired action from their knowledge of this individual and their knowledge of their own Wentworth and the knowledge of their own obligations to society for how much funding that they have and how much money they have, how they have this thing where they are obligated to give back or obligated to be involved in some way. Three of Swords in reverse. This takes the heartbreak away. It's like they're preventing situations that happen or situations that could happen by putting some sort of network in place, rules in place, even if they're unspoken, even if they're just kind of known to the core group that enforces the rules, that this is how this is, and individuals that are like this or cases that are like this is how it is this way. And it prevents situations, like I said, it sort of laying down the law in that way prevents situations from happening that could become catastrophic or could result in heartbreak. Especially if this is a group or a family that is well known and well thought of and well loved, and a lot of people are involved. A lot of people are emotionally sort of invested or like mentally invested in some way, like their action or their thoughts or their words, specifically their words, invested, the things they say and think. It prevents there from being the rumor mill. It sort of stops the rumor mill from churning as much as possible. And it stops there being a lot more issues with people talking or people losing trust in like a family that does like a foundation sort of thing. And there's a Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah, and it does. And it does. It stops the heartbreak and it stops that desire to sort of know what's going on behind the scenes sort of thing. And then the Seven of Swords, it stops people from it stops like tabloids from writing stories about them. It stops the paparazzi from like breaking into their house at night.